So the Ocean Therapy program is a program designed for underprivileged children to get them into the water in a fun, safe environment to learn how to surf. In the simple act of learning how to surf, there's 5 protocol sessions that allow them to become empowered. Learning how to surf empowers them and opens them up to possibilities for other things in their life. Most of these children they have a lack of self-worth through their upbringing, through their background. Our goal is to get them into the water, to get them into a group setting, to get them talking and opening up so that we can allow them to see other potentials, other possibilities in their life that don't currently exist. So the inspiration originally started when I had a chance to just sit down and finally say to myself, you know what, I've really always wanted to help children, and I've always pushed it to the right. And one day I wouldn't help children when the time was right, when I had enough resources, and that time never came, and decades went by. And then finally I just had an epiphany one day that I said, you know, why not? Why not combine my passions of surfing, because surfing is a passion for me, with the idea of helping children. So I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just started surfing the internet. And when I surfed the internet, I found this program and this outfit out in California at Camp Pendleton that had been providing this ocean therapy program for PTSD victims successfully for over 12 years. It was developed by a clinical psychologist. They developed a PhD program from it, and they were very successful, and they helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people that had symptoms of PTSD, which children have as well, that go through a traumatic upbringing. And it was clinically proven that these surf sessions, which were very rigorous in the clinical sense, but very fun experience for the kids and the adults that went through them, showed significant signs of reduction in depression and reductions in the symptoms of PTSD. So when I did the research and I found this, I contacted the founder and I said, this is fantastic what you guys have been doing, tell me a little bit more about it. We spoke, she sent me the paper that was written on that, that a PhD was developed from, and then I asked her to help support me to set up an East Coast chapter. As I started thinking about it more, I realized that over here where we're located in Miami, we're a little bit limited by the whims of Mother Nature. The whims of Mother Nature can potentially prevent us from having a reliable source of waves, especially down here in South Florida and anywhere along the east coast of Florida. You know, sometimes it'll be rainy, sometimes it'll be cold, sometimes it'll be too stormy. So it's not so reliable to rely on Mother Nature. So around the same time I was investigating this, the Kelly Slater Wave Park Company announced, and this was back in December of 2015, which is just a short 8 months ago, that they had finally developed their world-class wave park technology pool. And when I happened upon the videos of this new wave park and the wave that this technology was able to create, I, as a surfer, basically salivated when I saw this wave, and I said to myself, I must surf this wave. Why is this important? So my goal now is to be able to connect with Kelly Slater and his wave park company in order to create a wave parks that we can actually open up and place anywhere in the country. We can place them in underprivileged areas, we can place them in inner cities. And why is this important? Because what we really truly want is we want those wave parks to have access to the children in the most need. And my goal is, when we open up these wave parks, is to obviously broadcast it to the surf community. If you don't know anything about surfers, surfers are one of the most passionate people as it relates to finding that perfect wave. The surf community is now salivating to get on this wave here that was developed by the wave park, by the Kelly Slater Wave Park Company. Surfers will travel the globe, will spend all kinds of money in order to get on a wave. They'll endure all kinds of hardships. Well, here you go, you have a perfect wave that's available at the drop of a hat, and all you have to do is pay a fee. I envision that the demand for this wave park for surfers is going to be off the charts, and it will be a profitable venture. So my goal is to get these wave parks built, and then a certain portion of time will be allocated, let's say 30% of the available time that that park can run will be allocated towards allowing the nearby children, where we can go to the schools and say, hey, how would you like to go on a surf trip and learn how to surf? Children, of course, would probably be ecstatic at that thought. So right now there's programs out there in schools that are trying to bridge the gap between the kids that are underprivileged and are going through hardships in their life, and the programs out there are trying to help them. But sometimes the kids don't bridge that gap. They see the programs, but unless they reach out and jump that pretty wide chasm, nothing really happens with those kids, and then they get stuck. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reduce that gap so that the kids don't even know that they are being put into a program that can actually help them, that can actually open them up to allow us to talk to them about their situation, and maybe, just maybe, through the sheer fun and through the empowerment that surfing will provide them, allow them to think about another path in their life that they hadn't thought of before. And some of the footage that I'm going to show you here of the homeless people that we've shot on the streets is heartbreaking. Every single one of these homeless people that we've introduced in these videos and interviewed is a story of heartbreak, is a story of neglect, abuse, drug addiction, terrible parents, missing parents, abandonment, being sold for drugs, prostitution. And they lead lives that are meaningless because they feel themselves like they are meaningless. My goal is to get to these children that are today, right now, in all of our schools suffering. So my goal is to approach these children in the schools where these parks are located, get them on a surf trip, and allow us to be potentially the diversion and path to the path that they're currently on, which is most of the time the path of self-destruction. So the support that's required for this can come from anyone. Anyone that's interested in the ocean, anyone that's interested in surfing, anyone that's interested in helping children, anyone who's associated with the Kelly Slater Wave Park Company who can make that introduction, any large corporations that are willing to donate their time, money, resources in order for us to be able to have project managers, people who can help approach schools to put together the logistics of putting this kind of a program. If you feel a passion for this, then you're the right person for this. It could be anyone. So the support team, again, is along the lines of what I just spoke about, my team of experts. Obviously, we need the ability to be able to create these wave parks. And the Kelly Slater Wave Park Company is the one that comes top of mind because they are the company that has developed currently the highest, the best world-class wave. And it's important, not for the children necessarily, but it's important in order to be able to create the demand for this park that will allow profitability to happen and allow that profitability to filter down and fund the time and the resources and whatever personnel are required to help these children to get to a different spot in life, to direct and guide them to a different path.